Hey guys, so we're going to work on the last thing for our week 2 core. So we're going to go to the spell sprite. We're going to go on to our costume. So again, we have two different ones, the poison one and the frozen one. Again, there are many different ways you guys can go ahead and go about this. So for example, I'm going to go back to my basket. I'm going to pick my empty one and click on copy. I'm going to go on to spells and click on paste for both of them. And then I'm going to go ahead and play around with what I want to make. So a nice way of doing this is, since we know that the poison item that we have is going to be purple, it's nice to use purple for this. But if you guys are planning on changing the color, just keep it in mind when you are doing it. That way the player can understand, okay, avoid the purple colored one so that I don't have to touch it. And if I did touch it, my basket turned purple, so I know that that's why that happened. So it's good to have that association when one thing happens, just to let the player know that it happened by changing the color. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a dark purple for my basket. I'm going to also maybe even delete the dots that I have here, because again, I just want to make it a little bit different from the previous one, just so that the player can understand that it has completely changed. And then for my planks, I'm also going to go ahead and change it to a gradient color, is what I'm planning on doing. So I think what I'll do is, for these first row, well actually it should be all one thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that. So I'm going to click on it, go to the fill, I'm going to add a gradient. The top color I'm going to change to a purple, and the bottom color I'm going to change to a purple again, but this time it's going to be much darker. I might make this one a little bit lighter as well. Okay. And here I have my poisoned basket. I can also play around with this and maybe add some poisoned bubbles. I'm just going to add a couple ones. Because when you see it in game, you kind of see bubbles kind of appearing around the player if they've been poisoned. So I'm going to do something like that, and that will be my poison basket. Then for the frozen one, I'm going to go ahead and change it to look like it's been frozen, because again, frozen also gives the idea that because it's solid, it will stop moving. So I'm going to do something kind of similar to what I did for this one, for my frozen basket. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick a blue color, which I'm going to go ahead and fill. I'm going to go ahead and add a gradient for this one. And then for fun, I'll also maybe use my brush tool. And maybe draw some icicles. So it really looks like it's been frozen. I can add that in different areas if I want to. So you guys can go ahead and take your time with this, and then once you're done, we're going to go ahead and add the finishing touches with the code.